Okay, then we are live. It is lunchtime in the Johannesburg test and day 3 और India की lead अच्छी खासी है 161 run they are leading by but Rahul we got a 61
171,
na? 71 or
6,
61 61
188. They're 188 for 6. So they had
हाँ
they
so
were 17 runs
161
ahead. So
27
171.
sir 27 runs ahead थे sir.
Oh, sorry, they were 27 runs. I got confused with that Bangladesh and New Zealand wala
You
because
just had a
overnight.
you just had a brain fade like Rishabh Pant had. You just had a brain fade moment like that. But you know what?
Actually,
I thought we were going to discuss that 111 run partnership between Pujara and Rahane. But I can just see my comment section as you can expect, Rahul. Okay, one guess. What would be the most talked? And don't look at the comments now. Tell me what would be the most talked about point.
you always find a scapegoat. Unfortunately, it had to be Rishabh Pant, and rightly so. The manner
Hmm.
in which he got out, he was, batting on duck at that moment, and
Hmm.
I, I wonder what was the methods behind that in that madness.
No, there was not. So see, there is a difference between being positive and being foolish. So you can be positive and you can bat aggressively with a positive intent without being foolish or having a brain fade or something like that, which Pant had. He has nobody to blame but himself for having played that
Absolutely,
shot. I've
absolutely.
already I've already started getting so many comments. So I'm going to quickly take those comments on Pant and then we can
Please.
discuss at length. Sanskar Saxena says Pant took the bait very easily. Somebody said that he got sledge and then he played that shot. Is he a 9-year-old? Some Suri is saying that's not a brain fade. Nikhil Pant is consistently weak impulse control. Uh, then somebody has said, should Saha get an opportunity? Um, then uh, uh, somebody is saying Ishan Kishan. Look at Ishan Kishan. You could look at that. So you're already looking at. Arpan says Pan got sledged by RVD and threw away wicket. Is he a 9-year-old? I just took that. Anubhav
Hmm.
says should Saha get an opportunity? Then so I think the maximum comment we are getting with regards to आरव
Karan.
से लोग स्लेज कर रहे थे अब गुस्से में उसने बैट घुमा दिया सिंह
Mhm.
says very interesting you attract what you fear Sagnik is a odd man out who's saying back punt huh
he
so
Everybody is actually backing him for quite some time,
hmm,
obviously because of what he's done in the past, those match winning knocks. I read somebody mentioned about Mr. Gavaskar, that Mr. Gavaskar, during the commentary stint,
yeah,
he was there. So he said this is absolute nonsense and there is no excuse. I thought that he was
absolutely.
roughed up in the previous delivery, and he anticipated. He just wanted to get out of the line and wanted to get off the mark with perhaps a boundary. And even if that sledging from RBD it had anything to do, he also has to understand, Nikhil, that he's a wicket keeper batsman. He is no longer a wicket keeper that we used to have earlier in decades ago. He has to put a price on his wicket, as simple as that. He cannot behave like a tail ender. He's a
Yeah,
lower order batsman, or a wicket keeper who can bat, or who's very good with the bat, I
yeah.
should say. So I was there's nothing much to say. I think everybody has seen it, and it's not the first time that Rishabh Pant has thrown his wicket away in this fashion so many times. Perhaps he thought that attack is the best form of defense, and I'll go with that. And the manner in which Pujara and Rahane scored or got their runs, the manner in which Ashwin got his runs in the previous innings, he thought, I am tailor made for situations like this. But unfortunately, there was I think he has to put a price tag on his wicket.
So a few things I'll mention. Let's just give the background also to people, they're talking about Russi van der Dusen sledging him. I think that may have stemmed from the fact that he claimed his catch, even though it had bounced according to him. So, there was that, they were waiting for him to come out and bat. And Rishabh Pant should have known this in advance, that when he goes out to bat, because of that dubious catch that had happened, the controversial catch, he is going to be
Exactly.
sledged. And uh, Rassi van der Dusen doing that was no surprise. So you have to come prepared. Secondly, even if that situation had not happened, this is international cricket. Such things are bound to happen. You have to prepare. What,
Exactly.
what really bothers me is the fact that on a pitch which is now starting to again show that uneven bounce after that effect of that heavy roller has gone, there are
Yes.
batsmen who are ready to take blows. Rahane is taking blows. Pujara is taking blows while standing there, trying to fight it out. They're playing aggressive, but also taking blows on their body. So when it's like, you're at war and it's a teammate, and when you fight, it's always a team. No individual can win a war or a fight. Your team has to come in. You have to back each other, right? When you're
Yep.
in a situation like that, what must a Rahane, Pujara, and everyone else's teammate must be thinking, that we are taking these body blows, we are fighting it out, and it's not to say someone can get out for zero. Of course they can. But if you get out like this, where you throw your wicket away, give it as a gift,
Exactly.
it will hurt the team. It will hurt the team atmosphere. I'm sure somebody must have spoken to Pant when he gets into that dressing room, give him a peace of mind. And I think Rahul Dravid is one of those person. He's very proper in a lot of things, but when he sees something that is out of the ordinary, he's going to have a word. And I can bet you that Rahul Dravid will have a word for Rishabh Pant in the way he got out. You can get out early, but when your teammates are fighting it out, you have to fight for each other, where 200 can be a winning total. It's a low scoring game. Batting is not easy. They are taking body blows. You can't give your wicket away like that. Show the intent. Show the intent. You're ready to fight out. You're there for your team. But this bouncing down the wicket, that sledging happened, which you were expecting
Exactly.
that catch, to give away a wicket, unpardonable. That's the word that comes to mind.
Exactly. And you cannot, every time you can't say यार मैं तो ऐसे ही बैटिंग करता हूँ, मैं तो ऐसे
Yeah,
ही बैटिंग करता हूँ.
yeah,
That
yeah,
it cannot happen. And full marks to I would say even the dressing room or the team management. They must have formulated a strategy. The way Ajinkya Rahane and Pujara, they came out. Of course, they understood that they use the heavy roll in the morning, and the best way to score runs was to get runs early in the morning, and they did that, because
yeah,
as you said, later as the match progressed, again that up and down the wicket again used to
yeah,
again started behaving mysteriously. So uh, fortunately, because of that 111 run partnership, India would still feel that they've got something on the board, or in fact they've got a winning score on the board. It's still 161, as you said,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
India's lead 161, but they would still want to get that target to somewhere in the vicinity of 220, 230 at least.
Yeah, yeah. 200, I think, is something that they're going to have in mind. Just going back to that Rishabh Pant thing that we spoke about from that shot. Now, listen, we were also the ones when we were doing that discussion before the start of play. And, I pointed that out, that watch out for Rishabh Pant. He could be that X
Yes.
factor. He could be the guy. We said that because in these conditions, you want some, positive sort of batting, and that suits his style. I think the problem comes when he's in two minds. Should I be defensive or aggressive? That's where the problem comes. So one thing that you thought, that because you want to score run quickly, the one thing that would have been done is that quandary in his mind, that split in his mind, should I defense or attack? That would be clear. So at least he came up with that mind. But that doesn't mean that you play an irresponsible stroke so early in the inning. That doesn't mean, see, you, when we say positive intent, what do you mean? You mean that you respect the good balls, and when you get the loose ball, don't give it that much respect. Go for your attacking shot and get your runs. That is positive intent. That is smart batting. Not to say that, oh, now he's got the license, so he should now whack everything out of the ground. No, you're not playing a T20 match where you only got 8 overs left, and so you have to attack everything that you see and innovate and find ways to score. No, what you want in an aggressive intent is that for good balls, give it respect. You have enough time, and as soon as you get slightly loose delivery, you score out of that. That wasn't a delivery to score of. That he was trying to push the initiative, dancing down the wicket. That's where the question will be asked. He could have
True.
used his attacking shot, and he has a lot of range of shots here in his batting armory. We've seen that in the past as well. All he needed to do is wait, and there was some ordinary bowling also that was happening apart from the good bowling by Rabada that we saw. There was some ordinary bowling. All he had to do is wait for that opportunity, which he didn't. And I think that is why, again, I say that I'm sure that Rahul Dravid will have a word with him.
Exactly, and Nikhil, you would remember this in 1984. Kapil Dev and Sandeep Patil were at the crease. I think it was against England in Delhi, and both of them got out to rash shots. And I believe Nawab Pataudi was in the commentary box, and he mentioned that they should be dropped from the team for playing these kind of shots. And as luck would have it, that turned out to be, both of them were dropped actually after that game. I think the next test was in Kolkata. Sunil Gavaskar was the captain of the Indian team, and Sandeep Patil, imagine somebody like Sandeep Patil never got to play a test match after that.
Exactly.
And
Kapil Dev was dropped for playing a bad shot.
A year later after winning the World Cup in 1983, Kapil Dev was dropped from the team. Imagine. And that is the reason I'm saying you have to put a price on your wicket, and you have to play according to the situation. And this is not had it been for the first time, we could have still understood, somebody must have spoken to him in the dressing room that this is the best way that you just go and play your natural game. But at least get your eye in. And not for the first time that Rishabh Pant has thrown his wicket away. Taking a wicket and giving away your wicket are two different things. Unfortunately, Rishabh Pant, I don't know if the ball before that had anything to do, or what Rassie van der Dussen, the sledging had anything to do, but you are an international cricketer. Sachin Tendulkar played for 24 years. He must have been, I don't know if there's any cricketer in the world who's never been sledged. I don't think so. So that's very, very, very disappointing. Somebody whom we rate so highly, who a lot of people think that can be a future captain for India. Somebody, people often say that he can be groomed as a future captain. Make him the vice captain in one of the formats, one of the white ball formats, and so you have to play responsibly.
Yeah, and you mustn't forget that you are playing as a proper batsman, and that's why India is playing a batsman less. Which is why
Exactly.
they rely on you. And he's played match-winning innings to give him.
Why is he playing ahead of Riddhiman Saha? You give me one reason. Why is it primary reason? Why is he playing ahead of Riddhiman Saha?
Everyone says that Riddhiman Saha is the best keeper in the country, arguably even in the world, because of his keeping skills. So only for his batting, absolutely. Bang on.
Yes.
Now, see, now people are even pointing out, there's Bharat there as a backup. People are pointing out, if you want an aggressive batsman, you can wicket-keeper batsman. Ishan Kishan also can be looked at for the future. So there could be many more options. You never know if this is, is going to be his attitude. We've been big supporters of him. And, if you are playing for the team, and if you had taken a few blows on his body, and still tried to play aggressive shot, not taking undue risk, and then gotten out, I don't think we would have been critical. We weren't critical of him in the past as well. You can get out early.
Exactly.
But it's the situation. You have to play the situation.
Austin is saying that, has commented, Nikhil and Rahul sir, please tell viewers to not start the debate Pant agenda. He is just 24 and played a bad shot today. Don't criticize him. He will learn from his mistakes. Pant is still valuable to the team. Austin, as much as I agree with you that let's not start an agenda against Pant, I also disagree with the fact that we must not criticize Rishabh Pant. I think Rishabh Pant was showered with all the accolades and praises when he won India's those many matches, the ones in which he scored runs. But then you have to be ready for the brickbats as well as the praises.
Okay, let's turn our attention to the two stars also, Rahane and Pujara. In fact, I thought that maybe we'll lose one of them early. Just to give some perspective, you also got to realize that The conditions to bat on were very good at the start because they used a heavy roller, so that uneven
Right.
bounce went. So that
Right.
first half was very good. But again, credit to the likes of Rahane and Pujara to have come with that game plan that let's play attacking cricket
Exactly.
at the start. But then, the South African bowlers also, I thought some of their bowling was very average. They also gave a few
Were you
free.
surprised to not to see Rabada with the new ball
Absolutely.
or to start with?
I was surprised with that. I was surprised at the length that they were bowling. I was also surprised at Marco Jansen, bowling over the wicket. He should have got round, I thought, because there were two right-handers batting.
To cram.
So that, that is something that you could have done. So few things were surprising. Then that, don't forget the drop catch. I don't know what was Markram doing. It would have been a sitter catch had that early wicket fallen. It hit Rahane's, bat handle or high on the bat. It just ballooned up that ball. Instead of going ahead, he started going back, then realized, oh, no, I have to go ahead. It was too late. It was a easy catch. So, of course, those little things also fell in India's favor. But they have now put you in a position of strength, these two. Some people are pointing out that, who are disappointed. By the way, Rahul, let me tell you, some people are disappointed that they got run. They're saying now they've got 50, the two of them. Now they've guaranteed themselves a long run in test match cricket, which is not great. I disagree with that because, firstly, I mean, why would you want someone to fail? So you want them to do well. It's only going to help India win. This could be that match-winning partnership for all you know. Secondly, I don't think that now because of this 50, they're guaranteed. Huh? Let me tell you that, boss. There's still another test match to go. If you fail in those two test matches, again that talk will start,
And
and people will forget
uh,
this 50. So
and
remember that.
also Nikhil, also you'll have to see if Virat is available for the next test match also. That also needs to be considered. If Virat is not available for the third test
So
match,
next, so they will play anyway, whether Virat is available or not. How
exactly.
can you have Pujara or Rahane out?
No,
I'm
even if
saying, huh,
even if there was a slightest of doubt if whether they are going to be playing the next test match or not, but
no, I
we've
agree.
been discussing, we have discussed it last evening. I believe we discussed it in the morning session also, uh, about their contribution. In fact, I have tweeted a few stats basically, their contribution in India's victories overseas in the last 13 odd months. So um
Yeah.
that actually tells us that their contribution as far as India's victories every time, not just victories, but also whenever India has done well. For example, Sydney Test, India didn't win, but they did really well. In fact, Pujara got some good runs in that particular match. Leeds, of course, India lost by an innings, but still Pujara scored that perhaps a career saving 91 in that match, because it seemed as if that was his last innings, because at that time, and I included, I'm including myself also, that I was also one of those who said that this perhaps could be the last test innings for Cheteshwar Pujara. He scored that 91 and then he got another chance. So I
Mm.
think that is what people are also saying, that now that they've got runs, again they've got a license, and that a long rope, that their rope has again been stretched a
No.
bit, that they will get a chance to play a
But
few
I
more
don't
matches now.
agree. But I don't agree with that, now, Rahul. I'm saying I don't think the rope is going to extend for very long. Is what I'm saying. See, next test match they'll definitely play. I'm saying that people are saying, oh, now they've got 50, so now they'll continue to play for very long. I don't think so. If you have two failures in the next two innings, then for the home series, you may look at someone else. You never know. So you
Nikhil,
won't.
but I have a question.
Hmm.
Um, Shreyas Iyer was brilliant in that first match that he played against New Zealand. He
Hmm.
scored perhaps a match saving. In fact, he was the one who put India in a situation from where India could have won that match, because India
Yeah.
could have actually even lost that match, because they were in
Hmm.
such precarious situation at that point in time. But that uh, century, or the 48 that Rahane scored in that first test. Of course, he was
Hmm.
not the. So I'll tell you. See, what I'm saying is they'll get to you. You're absolutely right. They'll get to play the next test match also. In case,
Yeah.
I'm saying, just in case, if you drop them, and then
Hmm.
who are you playing at home? West Indies
No,
and Sri Lanka.
no, but
Anybody will come and
no, I agree with you. But see, that's what I'm saying. What happens? I'm not saying Shreyas Iyer is the next big thing in Test cricket or Hanuma Vihari is the
yes,
next big thing. I'm not saying
absolutely.
that. I am saying that, that rope, that chance that you give to someone will have to end sometime. People are saying that they've got
Right.
these 50s now, that, oh, that rope will extend. I don't think so. If you have two failures in the next two innings of the next test match, your position will again be under doubt. It is possible that at the home test match, you may give a chance to a Shreyas Iyer or even Hanuma if he gets run in the next two or three innings that he plays, becomes or comes ahead of them. What happens then is, agreed that you're playing at home, it will work to your advantage, but those are things that nobody sees while selecting or dropping. Now, if a chance is given to Shreyas Iyer at home conditions, so be it. He's traveled to South Africa, you didn't give him a chance there. If he gets it at home and he scores run, great. But then you will persist with him when you're going abroad. For all you know, Shreyas Iyer also may not be a long-term option, as you're
Why
saying.
didn't you play? Why didn't you play Shreyas ahead of Rahane in this test match?
That's what I'm saying. They went with experience, and I don't think they were done with
Exactly.
him. I don't think they were done with him. But
Yes. That
there has to be a stage where you're done with someone, na, Rahul. That's what I'm saying.
fair enough.
Has to
I
be some
agree.
stage. Yeah.
I'm not disputing that fact. There has to be a time. There will be a time when these selectors or the team management would decide, now we have to take a call and we have to look beyond Ajinkya
Yeah.
Rahane or Chiteshwar Pujara. But I like the fact. That everybody, in fact, including us, we thought that Shreyas Iyer will get an opportunity to play ahead of Rahane, but they actually rated Rahane's experience over Shreyas Iyer's talent.
Mhm.
Even they were not sure whether
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer could come good against this South African attack in their home conditions, and they backed Rahane, and he's 48 in the last test match, a very important 48 in that last match, and then today that 58, a quick fire 58 here. So that has actually maybe have tilted scales in Rahane's favor, at least for
No,
the time being.
no, could be, but I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. It's not that people have suddenly forgotten that he's been out of form, or that sword that is hanging from his head is not going to suddenly disappear. I'm saying that he's not going to now get another 10 test matches. Few more failures here and there, 3-4 innings doesn't get runs. Again, that talk will be there. And don't be surprised if he's dropped 10 and then someone else gets a chance. Now, I'm not saying that whoever gets his position or chance is the next big thing in Indian cricket and that he will get
True.
you runs. And no, may not be. But it will mark the end of Rahane's run. That is a possibility. And maybe you're closer to that.
They're
These
still 33. They're just 33 only.
Yeah, exactly. I gave an example of Murli Vijay.
The
Na?
only
Earlier I gave
problem
you an
with them,
example of
the
Murli Vijay.
only problem.
Suddenly you
Yeah,
forgot him.
sorry.
He's also not too old. I'm just saying, gave you an example of Murli Vijay also. Bad runs. At one point you reached that his chance is gone. After that, you have given many chances to many openers, but you're not going back to him now. You've almost erased him from your memory. So in cricket, you never know what happens. So maybe the other guy who gets a chance after Rahane or Pujara is maybe not the next guy, but then do you go back to them? Or do you by that time have three,
But
four more?
on what basis you'll go back to them? They'll have to prove their
That's what I'm saying.
credentials somewhere or the other. Because
Exactly. No,
domestic cricket is not happening. At least as of now, domestic cricket, Ranji
no.
Trophy, is not going to happen.
So again, what happens is, like, if you have some very heartbreaking series losses, I'm just preempting what happens in the past or what has happened. Then what you do is, then you go back to someone as experienced as a Rahane or Pujara. I'm just saying, like, you've given 2-3 guys a chance, or the upcoming guys a chance, and if they don't work out, then you go back to the experienced guy. I'm saying public memory is short. Things change so fast. Nobody can really predict what happens. However, the point is that at the moment the sword is hanging, and a 50 is not going to change that. It will give them temporary relief, but it's only a temporary relief. Malay
Temporary
Banerjee,
relief.
sorry, saying why you are not in the studio is asking me. Malay, that is because I have a minor cough and a cold. And even though I tested negative for COVID, officer said, even if you have even mild symptoms, please do not come and don't infect people like Rahul who have been coming to office. So that is why I'm at home. I've taken another COVID test and the report should be out in the evening. If that is also negative, tomorrow I'll definitely go to office and then in person have these fun discussions, arguments, and banter, or whatever you like to call it, in office, in person.
And Nikhil, I just would like to make an appeal. If you've noticed that close to 1,000 people are
Yeah.
currently watching us, are with us. I won't say they're watching us. Of course, they're listening also, and they're engaging in their in this
Yeah.
conversation that we both are having. So I just have a request here. Close to 1,000 people, and I can still see that 698 people,
Hmm.
698 people have still not subscribed to Sports Today. I have a humble request.
Yeah.
Uh, if they could subscribe to Sports Today, would be
You know
very
what
grateful.
happens?
In fact, we've crossed that 1,000. Yeah,
What
please.
happens if they don't subscribe? Just to give you an example, Rahul, what happens? Dhanush here is commenting. I'm guessing that when you don't subscribe, you don't get to know what goes on the channel. So Dhanush says Bangladesh beat New Zealand in New Zealand. Why no comments on that, sir? We've already got a video on that on our Sports Today platform on YouTube. But if you subscribe, then you get a notification when a new content comes in, and then you can get to see the video. But what happens is you come on a live chat, but you're not a subscriber, you don't get to know. So beyond the live chats that we do, we put in a lot of other comments related to other sports or other cricket series, but you will only get to know once you're a subscriber. That's what we say, that if you're a subscriber, you press on that bell icon, then you get a notification every time we put something out. So that is the reason why we
Hmm.
keep telling you to
All right.
subscribe. Then,
Now that so many people are there with us, I would just want to quickly, take their comments. Sagnik Ghosh, at least 5 test matches to Cheteshwar Pujara. He will get to his 100th test match. Hopefully, he will earn those 5 test matches. And Sagnik and Vikram Talreja says 7 out of 10 times since 2011, fourth inning scores uh, go beyond 250 in Joburg. I think we need at least 80 odd runs to fight it out. Quite interesting observation and stat. Hopefully, we will, because we were expecting that 220, 240, 250 should be beyond uh, South Africa's reach. Sandeepan Sinha is saying in 2013-15, Rohit Sharma played same kind of shots. Please, some time for maybe he's saying that please give some more time to Rishabh Pant. Mayank Agarwal, again he found some time in the
in the
dressing
match.
room to comment here. Due to rank turners, our batsmen are out of form. After first match, they prepare rank turners. Okay, he's saying basically at home. I think he's giving an example of that England home series against England, where we lost the first test match because England won a good toss, and thereafter we produced some rank turners. And in between, there's a super chat from Lakshman Kulkarni. Now Pujara and Rahane have done their part today, but Pant, when will he mature? Even though we've had a long discussion, but Nikhil, quickly, if you could comment on
No,
Lakshman's.
so I'll quickly comment on two things. One, about Pant. We've had such a long discussion. I think the first 15 minutes of a video are only on Rishabh Pant, and both of us have spoken passionately about that. If you haven't seen it, you can go back to the start of our discussion, and the first 15 odd minutes we only spoke about that. You're saying how much time to be given? There should be no time. You reach international cricket with maturity. So there is a reason now. If you say, oh, he's not fit for international, let him play domestic. You only take someone there when he's got that maturity to play with maturity. So even if someone is making a debut or playing a debut series, I expect him to be mature when playing internationally. Pant, on the other hand, has played enough for India now across format, and you expect maturity from him. Both Rahul and I have criticized him enough for the shot that he played today, and only he's responsible for that. Because what we are trying to say is, being aggressive or being positive is not a problem. You can be, but not being foolhardy. You don't want him to take such stupid decisions, if I can use that word, while you're batting, especially in a very crucial stage of a test match. And that is why you have to criticize him for his shot today. You can go back and see a discussion about chasing what would be good. Rahul, I thought let's answer that, because we also,
Hmm,
that was interesting from 2011. What you're saying is what should be a good target. You're looking at 240, 250, but also go back into the history of when has South Africa managed to chase over 200. Now, the last time it happened was only 2006. So,
6.
even for South Africa, and even in those years, they had such an amazing batting lineup. I'm looking back at that. Even with those amazing batting lineups, chasing 200 plus at Joburg has been impossible. Only once they've managed to do that, 2006, the last time they did it. So it is not going to be easy. And this batting, no matter what you say, and though they're showing some intent now, and showing some sort of good performance on the field with their youngsters doing well, still anything over 200 is going to be very tough. I don't have to say it. Yesterday, Kevin Peterson came for the press conference. He said it himself that we would be confident only below 200. After 200, the
Hmm,
more they get, the game is going to keep going away from us. So I think India should be
And,
looking at 200. First reach 200, you
and
still need 40 odd runs.
exactly. And
Hmm.
Nikhil, now that he has mentioned that figure of 200, I think it will also be a psychological advantage or a disadvantage. If actually South Africa if South Africa did discuss that, we need to restrict them below 200, the moment you go beyond 200, that will also have a psychological effect on both the camps, South Africa and India, because if you are prepared, suddenly you see that they've crossed that 200 run mark. Now it's 210, 220. That's also going to play into their
Yeah.
minds. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Vijit Malvia has a super chat question and he says, should Virat replace Pant in next match and let KL keep the wickets? Sir, I don't think that is going to happen. You can't go with a makeshift wicket keeper in a test match. I wouldn't like to see that. I would rather have a
What
full-fledged
did he say?
keeper.
Sorry, please, can you please
This
come
question
again?
is,
What did
should
he say?
Virat replace Pant in the next match? So, when Virat, if he comes back,
But who
uh,
will keep?
no, he's
Rahul
saying
Dravid will
KL.
keep the
Okay,
wickets.
so he's saying KL
Okay,
Rahul can keep.
KL. Okay,
Huh.
KL Rahul.
But
I thought
as
Rahul
I said,
Dravid.
no. As I said, I wouldn't want a makeshift keeper in a test match. It can be very, very crucial. You remember Pant has taken a couple of very crucial catches in this test match, as
Dropped the
patchy as has
crucial
been.
catch too.
Yeah, dropped a crucial catch too. Took some important. But I'm saying with a
Do you?
makeshift keeper honestly, between the two keepers, who would you want? And I think first thing you'd have to pick a regular keeper, and in that case, I would go with a Pant. So I wouldn't like this option. I don't know about
And
you.
and, and whatever said and done, Rishabh Pant as a wicket keeper has improved a lot in the last few years. He
Yeah.
was bad behind the wickets, but as a wicket keeper, he has improved a lot in the last few years.
Hmm. Someone is pointing out his average. Pant in last 13 innings averages 19.23,
Yes,
which is a fair
yes,
point, and we've criticized him enough.
and this is after the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we've discussed that. Please go back to the start of our chat. That's exactly what we spoke about.
Thank you, Shivam ji. Thank you very much. First time live, very much admired both of you. I've always admired. That's what Shivam is saying. Uh, Sir, do you
We
think ऋषभ पंत को अपना
man.
mindset change करना चाहिए? Yes, I think he should think like a batsman. He should bat like a batsman because he's a wicket-keeper batsman. The only reason why he is playing ahead of Riddhiman Saha,
Ah,
perhaps maybe because of age, but the primary reason is because he is a better batsman than Riddhiman Saha. Yeah, sorry.
but an interesting question. I have to take this. Karan S has a statement. He says, "Pant should get married to mature." So it's a very loaded statement. First, you think the people who are not
Shardul
married
Thakur.
are not mature. First thing you're saying. Secondly, he's talking like those पुराने वो जो दादा दादी होते थे ना.
दादाजी, दादी.
हाँ, वो used to say, अरे बड़ा बिगड़ रहा है लड़का, इसकी शादी करा दो.
इसकी
You're saying
इसकी
that's what
शादी करा दो. हाँ, yes, yes,
that is
yes.
what you're saying, Mr. Karan. Rahul, Rahul is
Huh?
unmarried. You're trying to say that he needs to get married to
Zipped,
get mature.
zipped. Yeah, in that case, I will also qualify as an immature person.
Does your grandparents also say the same thing to you?
Unfortunately, they are no more. Even though
Oh,
when they were alive, at least
they must be.
that is what at least my grandmother used to say.
See, some things about Indian families are constant no matter which part of the country you go on.
Karana.
Ah.
All are taking blows on the body, and someone is doing. Okay, Karan is actually
We
upset with
mentioned that.
Rishabh Pant.
We mentioned that.
Hmm.
Go to the
Yes.
earlier part of our chat. Exactly what we said.
Weber is saying thanks to Pujara and Rahane. Otherwise, we would have been bundled out under 100 runs. We need at least 15-20 runs more. 180 is
Yeah.
not going to be easy for the Proteas. Weber, I completely agree. Those that 111 run partnership may have done the job for India, but still it's not over.
Yeah, India. I think India also would want to go past that 200 run target. Not 200 runs on the
Acha,
board, but 200 run target.
acha, there's one thing that I've noticed in these chats is that people start commenting on then they don't realize that we've already answered their
Because
question
because they
because
come and go, na. They come and go. They come and go. They miss out
no, they
the.
don't. Okay, Vijit. Vijit Malve is saying, should Virat replace Pant in the next match and let KL keep the wickets? You even though you've answered, but he wants
Huh, we
to
answered that. Huh? I
give a
answered.
super.
No, in super chat only I answered it.
Oh, so I think I'm getting Venkatesh Iyer all rounder and Rishabh Pant. Do you think Rishabh Pant is just because there's Rishabh Pant in that 11? That is one of the reasons why you're playing. You go with 6 batsmen.
Yes, I think so. I think he has played certain very crucial innings for India in Test matches. I think you go with that. But I think the larger reason they go in with those 5 bowlers is because of the mindset that the Indian team comes with. That this is the attacking option. You have to take 20 wickets to win a Test match. And if we have these 5 bowlers bowling, especially when you have to play 4 fast bowlers, I think that's all the more reason they go in with that. Because I keep talking about that one injury, and we said it much before Siraj got injured, that if that one injury happens and then one of your bowlers is a spinner, then you effectively are going to have to rotate 2 fast bowlers. So, and if you're playing with 4 bowlers, that is, so 2 fast bowlers on these conditions, I think is going to be not great for any bowling side. I think all of those things go into why India plays 5 bowlers, especially when they're playing overseas.
Himanshu is saying Rahane. I didn't. If you could just explain, throw some light. I couldn't get this question or a comment. Rahane 39 works in gold because he makes difficult runs, and that is the reason he gets extended run, and he deserves every bit of that.
I think he's talking about Rahane's runs are worth weight in gold, because in difficult conditions he comes
Okay,
and gets those runs, and which is a valid point. We've discussed that.
exactly.
That the problem with Rahane has been consistency, not that he doesn't step up on the big occasions. He
Hmm.
does. Consistency.
Sorry,
Is the problem.
just yeah. Please, you carry on. Sorry.
Somebody is saying predict the target. Venkatesh
Announce.
here as an all-rounder or fifth
Okay.
bowler. That is
Officially.
something.
Okay. So KL Rahul has been announced.
Thank
It's
you
the
so much.
season. It's the season of Rahul's and KL Rahul. There's another good news for KL Rahul and his fans, that KL Rahul has now officially been announced as the captain of the Lucknow team.
Okay, interesting. Shall we come and do another live on that
Yes,
round? Let's end
yes,
this and come
yes,
back. Okay, so in five
yes. Has
minutes,
the match started?
yes, match has started. In
You
five
okay?
minutes, for people who are watching the match, in 5 minutes, let's come back live on Sports Today and give you all the latest details about KL Rahul. Okay.
And and an appreciation comment as we leave this session and this chat.
Thank you, sir.
Over 1,000 people joined us. Just a small request: if you could subscribe and make people aware that there is something like called Sports Today that exists, and hopefully is here to stay. Huh? That news could be false. Not
Okay.
officially.
So if it's
Huh.
official, then we go live. What do you say? We'll take
Yes,
some
yes,
time.
yes, absolutely. We'll make some calls. We'll find out,
Okay.
and
We'll come
hopefully,
live. So subscribe, press on the
sure.
bell icon. If that news is true, you'll get to hear first on Sports Today if KL has been appointed the captain of the Lucknow
Right.
franchise.
And
So,
all the other players who've been retained by both these franchisees.
okay, super.
Chalo, see you.
See you then. Bye.